Right on the stick of Tonelli. Coming in with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores!
Bates driving to the net. Bates knocked down. There'll be a penalty.
Picked out by Glenn Hamlin. Shot! Score! Leading out to the stick.
The Islanders have had 2 penalty shots in Stanley Cup playoff history. Here is number 3. Bates against Joseph. With Toronto. Here they come. 2-on-1. Bullock shoots. Scores! David Bullock. Islanders. Bates in on goal. Shoots. Consider that for a franchise loaded with memorable postseason moments, you have just witnessed one of the most memorable.
Last night in Game 3, the long wait finally came to an end. 8 years since the Islanders had hosted a playoff game. Led by Captain Mike Peca, the Isles came through for their fans, driving Curtis Joseph from the Maple Leaf net and setting the stage for a dramatic Game 4.
Nassau Coliseum is jam-packed and rocking again. Another great playoff atmosphere for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Quarterfinal Series. The Maple Leafs and Islanders. Toronto leads it 2-1. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a very loud Nassau Coliseum. We can hardly hear each other speak. Dave Ryan alongside Neil Smith. Glad you could join us again for NHL playoff action here on ESPN 2. Great atmosphere last night, Neil. Looks like we're going to get it again. Can the Islanders match their intensity of Game 3?
Well, they've got to match that intensity that they had last night. And remember, it's only 24 hours ago because the winner of this game is really important. You either have a brand new series if the Islanders win and it's a 2 out of 3, or else the Toronto Maple Leafs go up 3-1, and let's face it, the series is about over.
Yeah, a lot of the new faces have taken the Islanders to new places. A 44-point improvement. One of the worst teams in the NHL and one of the best this year.
Well, Mike Melbury did a great job picking up a warrior like Mike Peca to become his captain. And then he made a great pickup in the waiver draft from Detroit. Goaltender who bounced off the Red Wings to a Stanley Cup in 1998. He also picked up a very expensive and very temperamental with Alexei Yashin, who hasn't scored a playoff goal since 1998, and the Leafs know a lot about him from Ottawa.
Speaking of scoring drought, Toronto's had that in this series. Just 4 goals so far in the 3 games. How do they turn it around?
Well, the Leafs have got to make sure they take care of their own end. They've got to clear the rebounds away and give Cujo a lot more protection than they gave him last night.
Cujo was brilliant in Game 2 of the series, a shutout. He had more than 114 minutes of shutout hockey, all broken up. Last night in Game 3, the Islanders put a lot of pressure on Cujo and the Leafs, setting up game number 4 tonight. Yashin of the ex-New York Islanders. Sarah and Robert Franco will take a draw at center. Last night, the Isles broke a 7-game franchise playoff losing streak. Extended tonight. Franco spins out his own top. Corson nice effort. On the back check of Mariusz. Wayne Corson. This line along with Roberts battling. Very effective in shadowing. Alexei everywhere, standing on the white goals. Jim Corson's been right there with him defensively. Now he's working hard against Darren Cairns on the offensive side of things. Good cycling by the line of Toronto and some contact involving Cairns. And Corson behind the net. Yes! Roberts finally spot the puck by Yashin. Well, the thing they're trying to make the Leafs want to do here tonight after losing 6-1 only 24 hours ago is to play against Mammoth. You get the first goal, get the Yankees goal, get this crowd to beat Bryan. Give the Islanders the momentum that this crowd can give you. This place is just jammed to the rafters and it's noisy as anything you'll ever see. The offensive zone will try to get something going, and up come the brand new winger, Trent. Hunter brought into the lineup, replacing Brad Ispinster, who's got an injury problem. And that can really hurt Mike Milbury's Islanders.
There's the general manager of the
New York Islanders, Mike Milbury, been here for a long time, was brought in as the coach when Don Maloney was the general manager back in the middle 90s. And as we look at our referees tonight, Dan Mariusz and Brad Watson right there, these guys, we'll see if they take the same criticism as the previous referees took from Mike Milbury. He actually held a classroom session with the media to point out all the mistakes they made.
Wow, brought in a few select members below the media. It was after game 2 in Toronto, and he felt all the calls went the Maple Leafs' way. To the Isles in game 3. In fact, they're 4 of 9 on the power play, and still through 3 games in the series, the Maple Leafs do not have a power play goal. They're 0 for 18 so far in this Eastern Conference quarterfinals. So get his work is the question. Here's Green, the ex-Islander chance. Last finish run. Got Mogilny there on cover. For the most block, hunting out a loose puck. Wade Belak to make a catch. Back away. Hit Miller. Sliding out and giving up the body. Mogilny had a goal in game 3 last night. His first in the series. His only point so far. It's a high point evening, though, for Vision Maple Leafs. They were absolutely ambushed after that. 7:35 into the third period. Cujo was pulled for Cody's block.
Well, you know, a lot has been made about this issue with Mike Milbury did get an edge from the referees, but you know, I think the Cole handled it in. We worked together for a long time, and you know, he confirmed what I already thought was there's no way that you're going to influence a new referee coming into the game and calling the game. It's just not going to happen. The referee doesn't get off the airplane and start reading on the New York newspaper and then decide how to make his call. He's going to make the call how he sees him in the game.
To the rookie. Trying to work in front. Tarnstrom shot. Knocked down on the road. Cujo can't. Hunter. Cycling for Peca. And Shawn Bates. Got a good series so far. He scored last night, too. Got the point loose. And it's right. Peca whack out. Just outside the right circle, but it was deflected first. And Domi takes it out. He's hit that base in contact with Czerkawski. Trying to line up his man on the pole. Clearly blocked in. I said, hit the puck right back for the Maple Leafs.
One thing, you don't want to take the first penalty in this game either, especially if you're the Leafs on the road. You don't want to take the first penalty. You don't have your crowd to impress in here. It's their crowd. Just play the game easy. Let them take the first penalty.
North Dakota star follows up on the end boards out there. Claude Lapointe. Steve Webb, 21, had 11 hits in the game last night and was named the first star. Relative to Islanders. Had points in that blowout 6-1 win of the Maple Leafs. Webb had none, but he was the first star thanks to all his physical play.
Well, everybody that you talk to, from broadcasters of the game last night, the Islander broadcasters, everybody else says Webb had an amazing impact on this hockey game in their 6-1 win.
Curtis Joseph was tremendous in the first 2 games of the series, but in game 3 really unraveled. We know Cujo well, a great first-round playoff goalie. Can he come back?
Well, he can come back, and his defense wasn't good in front of him, and that's for certain. Down at the other end, the ex-Detroit Red Wing goaltender, as we said earlier, won a Stanley Cup in Detroit, so that's all that matters to me is when you talk about a guy who's a starter who's won a Stanley Cup, there's very few of those guys in the league that can backstop a club to a Stanley Cup. That's how good Chris Osgood can be.
Heading into this Osgood facing 100 shots. He's got 96 of them so far in the series. He's been very sharp. Let's continue that. He said even after allowing the goal of the period to begin the game last night, he felt confident. And even after the tap, the Maple Leafs, good things would happen for his Islanders, and they did. He was right again in game number 3. We'll try to repeat it in game 4 tonight.
Dave, the reason it's so important if you're trying not to take the first penalty is you don't want the Islanders getting on the power play in this building, having the crowd go crazy, and getting a goal, and then it is just going to be a nightmare. You want to get that first goal and keep the crowd out of the game.
The Islanders have the worst power play on home ice in the NHL. They exploded in their first home playoff game in 8 years for 4 power play tallies last night in game 3. Mike Peca, the captain, said after the game it was so crucial to get the power play going. It had really been stifled in the first 2 games of the series.
One of the guys that has really made an impact on these Toronto Maple Leafs in their playoffs last season, and he's doing it again this season, is Shane Corson. He is a one-top customer. His scares hundreds of minutes now later in his career, but he is an absolute aggravating player that's going to go after you, and he will fight you. And And that's the difference between him and others who just want to aggravate you but don't drop the gloves. This guy can actually aggravate you, hit you, and if you want to fight him, he'll do that too. Shane Corson is a big part of the success of the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially in the playoffs when it's a real crime.
First Maple Leaf run, Shane Corson leads his team in career playoff scoring. Here in Game 4 this series, 2 assists in 3 games, averaging almost 17 and a half minutes of ice time. How much does it change Paxton's strategy not having last game when they're trying to match Corson and Yashin?
Well, I think it matters quite a bit. You want to get Corson out there every chance you got. But it certainly is a team game, and the team is going to have to grind hard. They know who to go after. Yashin, because he is shy away from being physically dominated, you get out there and you know what to do.
Looks at the point, takes a shot, looks it over the left shoulder, good. Taken back by the Maple Leaf defense. Green leads the charge. Looking for Tucker, Darcy going toward the middle of the ice. After a career year, all major offensive categories with a key effort and agitator. Here's 16 of blue, down low, gets the attack, gets it, the rebound loose, the power down, stop. Can you believe that save by Prince Osgood? A snipe from Mogilny on the doorstep, denied by the guy they call Ozzy.
Here's a great scoring chance for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Darcy Tucker, a nice little chip pass, but Mogilny's in there too tight, and Osgood stands his ground.
Throws around the corner board. Maple Leafs try to continue some offensive pressure. Czerkawski lets it go through the center to Rocky Bird. Also being the first ever tonight. Maple Leafs will take it from anybody with the bench up front. They scored 4 goals in the following series. They scored a total of 6 for 2 of the empty net and 4 off this season. At this point, two ever standing tall, moments to go. The puck's in low. And Domi trying to beat this off with it. Off the shaft of the stick here. Back up to his goal at the puck. They're line juggling now from half court in the Leafs. Tarnstrom plays out through center.
You can see that the Islanders are making the first change every time here, and the Leafs are trying to respond to it.
Again. Huge hit. Nailed Thomas Cairns. On the far back board. Great shot. Took the side. Kuja flashes on the ground. One more time. He's picking on Cairns. This guy absolutely punishes the opposition with his body check. Gotta get to the point. You're going to be hit by 21. Right to the point. Shot there. Cairns goes wide. Not by much. Left to Kuja. And it's cleared out to center by the Maple Leafs. That began his career for Neil Smith with the Rangers. And the play is whistled out at the blue line.
Well, here we go with all of the early message sending. There's Steve Webb. What a game he had last night. Look at those stats. 10 minutes, which is a lot for Steve Webb, folks, in a playoff game. 16 shifts. But there's the number at the end that you see. 11 hits. He's already got 3 tonight. And we're only just over 7 minutes in. There's the big hit. The first one. He goes in on Thomas Caberlet. And there's another look at it. Almost could have got called for leaving his feet on that one. And I thought actually on the first one, it could have been a charge. But certainly you need a guy like this in a physical series. Toronto prides themselves on physical play. There's a man that called him the key to the game, Peter Laviolette.
He told us before the game tonight, Webb was the best on the ice in Game 3. That was Webb's first ever home playoff game. As play is whistled down at center. 6 years as an Islander and never had a home playoff kill until last night.
Let's look at Game 3. There he is with one there. Here he is as they're barking at the bench. Another big high hit. He's got to watch leaving his feet, though. The referees are going to catch on to this. That was a hard mid-ice hit. Another one. And here's the reaction from his head coach, Peter Laviolette, as he goes out for a first star of the game.
He had a response to the Isles calls last night on Yashin. Traffic for Camacho. All that coming to Trent along the right wing. He laughs towards him. The defenseman for Toronto's first ever playoff playoff series, and we got a whistle behind the play. Quiet. Stopping action.
From our penalty box cam at Gary Roberts and Parrish. The Florida Panthers both going in for slashing penalties. It's called by the rear referee, or the referee that's in the neutral zone. Dan Merwelli made that call. Take a look at this. There's a bit of stick work here. A shot to the back of Roberts. Roberts gives a little poke to the midriff of Parrish. So they both go. We'll play some 4-on-4.
Coincidental minors there on the slashing call. You have not mentioned the name of Matt Sundin. Almost 8.5 minutes into this first period. I know I mentioned a captain of the Leafs. We'll get the update as quickly as possible. Shot there from the blue line, and the blocker stop by Osgood at 4-on-4.
I don't see Matt Sundin on the bench. I think that it must be a COVID issue that he's gone off to the locker room, because I'm not able to recognize the equipment. I mean, which guy is the equipment trainer on the Leafs now? Certainly, it would appear to be that this is an equipment problem.
Made some room and some space throw for the net Yashin. You see Matt Sundin, the team's leading scorer. 40-plus goals this year. Another great season for the Leafs captain on the 4-on-4.
When you watch a playoff game, 13 almost gets burned into your eyeballs like a flashball.
Jumped down on the ice. Watch ahead man Peca looking for Yashin. The play is going to be whistled down to the blue line. Yashin trying to get going offensively. Sundin not a scratch on the official list.
And you can see that our series fact shows us that this series is the highest penalized series of any of the 8 series going on in the National Hockey League's second, of course, is the rivalry between St. Louis and Chicago, which is what you expect when St. Louis and Chicago get together. A lot of penalties. You don't expect it out of two basically non-rivals, the Islanders and the Leafs.
Domi's got to get something going too physically, especially without Sundin. He's got 12 penalty minutes coming in. You saw Gary Roberts in the bin. He and his teammate Darcy Tucker, 23 pins each, leading the way after big scraps at the end of game 3.
A lot of bad mouthing, a lot of trash talk, a lot of personal stuff coming out. Some of that's really hilarious.
It's the playoffs after all. Cut to the right point. Czerkawski trying to find a handle. Scatchard throwing the body around. Scatchard was slashed on the shoulder by Corson at the end of game 1. Islanders really wanted suspension. Quick shot put right on. And Healy is stopped by Chris Osgood.
Take a look down at the Leaf bench. Keith Axon, Pat Quinn, and Ricky Lee, the coaching staff, looking to see, hoping that Matt Sundin returns from the locker room as quickly as possible.
I don't think we've seen on the ice for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then you should know that. That's one and another game play back there.
Nothing by Jonsson. Jonsson trying to track it down. Into the 4-on-4 down the point. That's not bad. Corson Roberts. Spring out of box. Roberts Jackson still playing up with the Parrish. That's because the try on top block. Back cross with Lutz. Here's Adrian Cole from the Anderson Tower. Trying to make
The second one was a great little wrist shot in from the point by Aucoin. Let's take a look at it from the eye of our Southwest Airlines goaltender. The shot goes off Parrish's skate. Back out to Yashin. He puts it high over Joseph, and what a happy guy this guy is. He feels like it's 1998 all over again. But it was a great little shot by Adrian Aucoin from the point, a wrist shot.
It was the right type of shot, just to lay it out in front so that there would be a rebound.
He finally has done it. The 800-pound gorilla is off the shoulders of Alexei Yashin. And 1999 and the 2001 playoff series for Ottawa. No goal scored by Alexei Yashin. And all his teams are tonight. Alexei Yashin will be a happy man tonight because he was on the ice without Shane Corson. And that's what he's bringing on the net. Parrish escaped. Jonsson played the shot. Did not know that it would get through. And Yashin came up with a loose puck and put it right over the sprawling Jonsson. He will track down the Nassau Coliseum as soon as possible. Dean was on for the warm-up. Official scratch. Causing him a hand injury now and taking him out of the lead lineup. That ever kept still. Osgood to go through. It's a huge blood being down. Some Dean and Joseph are certainly the keys to the lead lineup. One on by McCabe, yet down on the captain. McCabe some time. Way down low, tuck it out, gets him out. Good, got it. Keeping this a 1-0 game, and Darcy is getting nasty. That's his style of play. A power forward who likes to get under your skin. To the studio now, Jonsson.
Now sporting a shield. So a lot of things have changed since Alexei Yashin scored in 1998.
That's only sophomore. That's a lot better. Here's Cairns at center right. He's right. Off to behind. Jonas Holden. Hunter has done a lot of bumping. Because the captain, Matt Sundin, not available. Tied a career high 51 games this year, 15 in the postseason. For now. Second shot blocked one after the neutral zone. Webb tries up the top. That's up the middle wall. Long time Islander. Finally getting a chance to play that playoff series. He's been here since 1996. A lot of these guys have waited a long time, not just the fans. These Isles who have gone through the tough years. 52 points last year. Worst in the National Hockey League. He's got a great season. The last overall, folks, is a long way down. They've come a long way up. Last overall is way down there. Parrish goes for us. Parrish across the line. Jackson with it. Shot knocked down. And up goes the blocker. Into the stomach of Mark Parrish on the way by. Parrish had 2 goals. In game 3, Yurke Lume gives him a little helmet wash as well. Half win without his star player, Matt Sundin. Now who's going to be the one to step up in the lineup?
Well, they've got to get Alexander Mogilny to step up there. He's the one pure goal scorer that they've got. He is contributing. He's playing well tonight here. He's doing what he can do, but there's even more pressure on a guy like Mogilny when this happens. But Gary Roberts has got to step up and do some things for them as well. And they've got it. The other guys have all got to chip in, but the Tucker Green Mogilny line will be key to the Leafs having a chance for success.
The 2000 Stanley Cup run for New Jersey, Mogilny had 7 points, 23 games. Last year, 16 points as the Devils got to the Cup final, lost to Colorado in 7. So he knows how to turn it on in playoff time. They're happy now. Sharp angle shot from Archie goes through. Jonsson at the point. Intercepted by Lewin near half wall. And that's one down the center right. And Jonsson back to Roberts. Here's Corson trying to rake it through trouble. Ice time leaders. Major minutes, more than 30 a game during the regular season. Under 6 to go, an exciting first period. From the island, Mark Parrish and the Islanders in great shape thanks to Alexei Yashin finally getting an NHL playoff goal. And after game 3, now to game 4. On home ice, the Islanders have had their way with the Maple Leafs this year. Outscoring them 14-3. 3-0 can make a perfect 4-0. They've done well against Toronto. Here's the Coliseum. Hunter the rookie just called up from West in the American League. Talk about pressure for the kid.
Isn't it amazing the situations that happens where a guy gets called up in the middle of a playoff like this? He probably never heard noise like he heard after the national anthem in his life.
Been playing the postseason with the Sound Tigers, the playoffs in the American League. Here he is. Let's rock on all over it. As he rubber down. He got a penalty call. Slashing is the indication. And a power play upcoming. The Islander fans are pleased. Berg is going.
Well, as we look at Pat Gwynn, and as I said earlier in the game, Pat Gwynn always thinks that his team is getting jobbed, and certainly he's not happy about this one. Definitely will be a slashing down on Hockey Berg as we take a look at it. I didn't catch who exactly he slashed on that play because there was a congestion of players in the Leafs zone. But the one thing that the Leafs don't want in this situation that should be bothering him more than anything is we take a look at this. The slash on Michael Peca right there. Didn't even get him on any. He got his stick. Slashed his stick, and that might be why Pat Quinn's so upset. But the one thing you don't want to have happen today, we saw it happen in the other game that we covered. You don't want to see the Islanders at home here get a goal right now in the power play. That's what happened to Carolina in Game 3 in New Jersey.
Saw the power play number 1 a moment ago. 4 power play tallies in Game 3 here last night. Parrish at 2, Brad Impe to 1, and Shawn Bates the other. Scoring game 1 of the power play for the Isles. Man advantage. It's been a finish. The Maple Leafs have really struggled. Here's McCabe. They're all the way down ice. Peca got a chance to change.
Bryan McCabe would be very satisfied if his tournament Leafs could come back and win this series, win tonight's game, and then win the series. After all, he was the captain of the New York Islanders a number of years ago. I think the first captain
have a look at the point. Around the boards. Shaded hard from behind. McCabe holding the arms up, hoping he's not penalized. Chipped over the boards, out of play. For a face-off with 4:19 to go in this first period. Well, despite the fact the Montreal Canadiens rallied for a huge win last night against Boston in Game 3 of that Eastern Conference quarter, the Islanders barely edge out. Today's having time on the all-time home ice winning percentage in NHL playoff history.
Well, the Islanders came into the league in 1972, and it didn't take them long. They were obviously horrible when they came in the league. In 1972, they were devastated by the WHA, the upstart league, that took away most of their players. And they did some great drafting in those early years under Bill Torrey and his scouting staff to pick up players like Billy Harris and Dennis Potvin, Clark Gillies, Brian Trottier. Sure enough, it wasn't long before they were one of the most dominant teams in the league, and they won the first Stanley Cup in 1980 after only 8 years. Adrian Aucoin, Vancouver, with a Canucks organization. Also played there with Tampa Bay. Down at Happy Home on the island now. Takes the X-Ball from Blue. Picked up a free agent. He's got a huge uniform. Just about everything we want all season long. Like Herbert. Good back to the field. Has the power to come to base. Off the play, here's Harris some time. After shot back. Runs up and check. The shot. He's got his first career playoff goal and his first tilt in the postseason. 14 ticks left on the power play. What you said earlier about all the offseason moves working from general manager Mike Milbury. You know, often when you try to make a lot of moves in the offseason, some of them don't work. But here's a shot by Bates that almost gets through. As you can see, it's slightly deflected right in the front of the net by Hunter. After his drive from Bridgeport, Connecticut, you take a look at him on the bench. And there's his numbers.
Shots on goal. Isles have the advantage. And a 1-0 lead thanks to Yashin. Takes the draw to the left. Turns Jonsson. There's Domi. That's been flexible offensively at times this year. Pick up the slack. The lead score. Captain Matson need out of the hands. Aucoin tonight. And a penalty behind the play. Domi carried the lead. He and Tarnstrom came together. Domi is furious. Jonsson made the call from the neutral zone, and Domi is yelling, if that was an infraction, why didn't Mariusz call right beside me? The reason for it is because Mariusz is probably too close to it to really see it. Watch, it's a hit from behind that threw Tarnstrom into the boards. Van Impe, sorry, that is Van Impe. And watch Domi's reaction here. And there's the Roger Nielsen white flag going up from Pat Quinn. All of the athletes were getting on here. This is the first round never got played. Can't have a better stage. Oh my! We're only 30 miles. Parrish reverses up. After some time. Here's Hamilton going to play. Throws it on that rebound. Loose. Left there by Duclos. Kept away by Berg down ice. Toronto.
The Leaf defensemen are doing a much better job tonight than they did 24 hours ago of getting the rebounds away from Curtis Joseph.
The power play numbers in the regular season so far. Very effective. His first round series to this point. Lets it go through. Track it down. Yashin gets to it first. His forecheck short-handed by Darren. Bouncing puck and Osgood will not take a chance because McCabe and Long's work up front on the PK unit. They'll get a draw deep in the Islanders zone.
There's been a war of words between these two general managers. One of them coaches, one of them has been a coach. There's Mike Milbury and Pat Quinn. They've both been on the officials. They've both been arguing for their team. And you know, let's face it, what you want to do when you're Mike Milbury is you want to cause a little bit of a distraction to get the media, this ferocious media in New York, off of Alexei Yashin, get the pressure off him, focus it on yourself. Focusing it on your whining about refereeing is better than having all the pressure going on your star player.
Let's not forget that Pat Quinn had some choice words about Peter Laviolette as well. First couple of games anyway, you had him in New York briefly. Only played a few games in the NHL. Right in the locals as an NHL player, and that's why he's getting some tough guys out. Now penalty's coming up. As Cavalry was tripped up, he is hoping for a call against the Isles, and he'll get just that.
Michael Peca's going in for tripping here. Certainly nobody could accuse Pat Quinn at about 280 pounds of being light in anything. Loafers, sandals, or anything else. Peter Laviolette being the thinner of the two. And I'm sure that's all he meant by light in the loafers, is that he's a lot thinner than him. As we watch Michael Peca go into the penalty box.
New York Islanders penalty, number 27, Michael Peca, 2 minutes.
Michael Peca, you know when you're on the power play and in the playoffs, you do anything that comes close to a penalty, the referees are probably, it's human nature to even it up. Here it is right here as he does pull Caberlet's skate out, and certainly the referee, I think it's Brad Watson, was right behind him. Caberlet might be down for just a tiny bit, but you know what? You can't make a mistake when you're out there in the power play. They're going to jump on it because you're going to get a scoring chance on the first period.
Going in, still the 4-on-4. Next 25 seconds. That's the power play time after that. Toronto has some carryover time as well. 3 teams in this postseason playoff so far do not have power play goals. Toronto won. Can't try to change that. Osgood lost it. It's down the line. At the goal line. And he covers up.
And another penalty.
And another penalty is called. As Osgood got run over.
Well, what's happened here is Kavasha really took a swing at Roberts, and Roberts, of course, made it look like he'd been given a appendectomy by Kavasha in front of the net to make sure that the referee called this. So the Islanders are going to be down 2 men, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 in 8 seconds. Watch this from our goal cam as the puck comes down. Where is it? There it is. You better get it, Ozzy, before it gets across that little red line, and the man behind you puts that red light on. From the overhead view that the video goal judge uses, there it comes down, and he gets it. And here's the stick from Kavasha right there. Look, me no like that. As Kavasha, look at this. No. Maybe he just doesn't like Maple Leafs because he put that right across the logo of Gary Robertson, and Gary, being the wily veteran that he is, made it look pretty good. But in 8 seconds, the Leafs are going to have a 2-man power play for the final 31 seconds of the period.
That's right. 39.4 to go. goes for 8 of the one-man advantage. Then after that, 2-man advantage for after the period. McCabe. Here's Mogilny. This is a 4-on-3. Final moments of that. Domi is down to 5-on-3. 2-man advantage now. McCabe and Domi jumps into the play. Have a minute to go in the period. McCabe. Here's one with the play. Roberts. Down low. Mogilny shot. The body in the goal. Now Domi and Claude may have deflected it home.
I think Kenny Jonsson put this one in his own net. This was a shot by Mogilny that went off of his stick the wrong way. Went up and hit Kenny Jonsson and went directly back into his own net as he was trying to cover for the pass across. Take a look at this from behind the net. As the play was going to go across to Mogilny on a one-timer, but he hits it right into Kenny Jonsson. And Kenny Jonsson has really little that he can do about it as it unexpectedly goes into his midsection. He puts it into the net. So that should be an unassisted goal, because in the league you're not supposed to give assists when the team puts it in their own net. Let's see what happens.
Mogilny should get credit. The power play rolls on, by the way, for the last 5 seconds of the period. Plenty of carrier behind. After at the end of the first one, we have second period action. Some nasty words at the end of the first 20. At the bottom line, a 2-man advantage power play goal for Toronto has tied it. Always crucial to get that late goal in a period.
Let's take a look at it from the overhead, see if this goes off a hand, or where does this go off of? No, it goes off right off of Kenny Jonsson's hand. He probably was trying to grab the puck. His thought in that split half a second was probably to try to grab the puck, but it inadvertently went off his palm and made it a 1-1 game.
Well, exciting first period. Here in the island. A 1-1 score. Yashin getting the gorilla off his back. Scoring a huge goal. It was physical. Great saves early made by Osgood. Cujo is tough but couldn't stop Yashin, who scored his first playoff goal in 4 years. A late power play tally has tied to the studio. We are set to resume action. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. This lead the series 2-1. After trying even enough power play time to begin the second period. Kamasha had this lasting minor at the end of the first. Power play time for the Leafs. They have not scored a power play goal yet. And all kinds of trouble prior to this game 4. We only got them going, though, at the end. First period, 2-man advantage. The first power play tally up this series. 1 for 19. Laviolette trying to hold it in. Run over by Robert. Big hit in the near corner. Jonsson trying to swing it loose. Physical play behind the net. Callaway trying to get to it. Reichel. Roberts. At the goal line out to the point, McCabe. Thomas Callaway. Here's on the near wall. Don't let it slide through for Roberts. 30 seconds left. Power play time to begin the second frame. Mogilny shot angle. Here's Callaway some room. Roberts will get scored down low. It's clear side. And down the back corner. Never really a shot that went in mustard on it that time. The Islander penalty killers doing a good job of making the lead. Keep it to the outside. Travis Green trying to hold it in. Last night, their last home game. 94. They're eliminated by New York Rangers on route to the Stanley Cup. Travis Green played in that game as a member of the Islanders. The only player on the ice by the team who was in that game back in 94. He's trying to get to it. There's Luman center. After a rough first period. Playing physically as usual. 10-9 to Toronto. In across the line. Leads production coming up. Little quick shot. Going high. For Osgood. He gloves it down. Keeping us tied. The NHL during the regular season here at the Coliseum. 12.5%. 22 of 176 on home ice. And they clicked for 4 in game 3. Attacking this one with Yashin. Even strength goal. Trying to burn the Leafs again in the power play. On this attempt. Jonsson is all coming together. 6 upon for the team to each place. last night of play. Let's go back to the studio again and John Saunders. Who got all of full goal support in their sweep last year. The Maple Leafs sending out the first round. Didn't get much help in game one. Peca scored in overtime, and since then Lalime has blanked the mighty Flyers without much recognition. But the Flyers were in such turmoil going into the playoff stage. A lot of people have talked about that. There are a lot of penalties coming up. Screen got hit in between the circles. Travis Screen slow to get up. Going to send someone into the box to even things here. Looks like the rookie Hunter's going to go. We'll have 4-on-4 for the next 29 seconds until Berg's penalty clears.
The crowd reacting to Darcy Tucker lying down playing possum, according to the Long Island faithful here. Darcy Tucker always involved in any kind of dispute that goes on as you see him looking for some blood or some kind of liquid just to try to get it. Another penalty call. Let's take a look at this penalty. It's over on the left boards here. Right there, the interference call. And watch the ankle of Travis Green as he stands in front of the right there. That hurts. I don't know if that went off the toe cap or the ankle. It hurts when it hits your toe cap. Dude, that could take your nail right off your toe.
Peca sent. Second to 4-on-4 to make Leafs out top play. Trying to take a lead. Michael. To the wrong Jonsson. Back deep right now. Offensive zone, talking to captain. Southwell Corey jumped into the play. 5 seconds to 4-on-4. The Birds at the hot side of the box. Now power play underway for Toronto. We're on a 5-on-4 at the end of the first period. First power play count up this series. And we're in structure. Try to keep it going here. Roberts in the corner for Tucker. Now for Captain Matt Sundin in the lineup. McCabe shot comes all the way through. So it's a through center. Speed the offensive zone, but Toronto pulled the long time Islanders. Before this series, his only prior playoff experience had been in 95-96 with Calgary. It had been Matt Ross, Lapointe, half here in the playoffs. Great work, short-handed Green, knocks him down, fans with a penalty. Look at the work by Claude Lapointe, the assistant captain. Now Mogilny the goal scorer. That's a 3-on-2 armband rush the other way. Set the power play. Corson play comes over through for Bryan. Couldn't handle it. And a short-handed Blake Samoa. Jason Blake has the point with it. This off short-handed. 30 seconds remaining in the power play. Handle if he jumped in. They couldn't quite find him in the game. There's Brent Green the other way. That comes over. That's a tie. And Scatchard has clear timeouts. What a job on the penalty kill by the Islanders here. Spending more time than Leafs. Offensive zone, and Toronto is staying in their offensive end.
Well, don't forget, coming into this game, the New York Islanders have killed 37 straight power plays.
Mogilny broke that streak at the end of the first. It's flubbed down by Osgood. As Hunter is out of the box, we are back to full strength. One shot on that Toronto power play. Jonsson looks for Darren. On the blue line for the Islanders. Yashin the goal scorer for New York. For Corson. First to speed offensive zone, Shane Corson trying to work toward the middle of the ice. Lifted away by Yashin back jet. Made some speed through center. Across the line. Shot totally missed the target. Bouncing puck. Crazy. Bounce off the end board. Yashin working hard. Head to head with McCabe. Savasha tries to send Callaway into the next zip code. Here's the big check. Thomas Cavalier, Czech Republic. Great young defenseman of Toronto. Emily. Looks down on Yashin. Roll. Time. Shot.
offensive chances and everything. This crowd's right into it. The 1-1 game. Well, he spent a lot of years at Tampa Bay. He and Yashin were 1-2 in the draft the year that he got drafted.
Set to go on the island. Slipped down ice by McCabe and another timer. 20 seconds in contract. The time is Osgood will play for the defense. And Roman Jonsson works for Parrish. Had put together 60 points in the regular season. The first 2 playoff games came last night, game 3. Seeing a little bit of the emotion sapped out of the building. The players getting tired of doing 2 intense hockey like this.
Well, you're seeing a lot of power plays for the Leafs and not many scoring chances for the Islanders.
Get that last. Pat Domi by Chris Osgood. Working hard drops. Send in. We're back even straight here. 3.5 remaining. Middle frame. From the island. Rick over to man deep. Aucoin working hard on Ross. Mogilny trying to center. Off the body and out on his own. Mogilny. In he goes. Save it. Good. Beat up by Buckle. Mogilny nearly a second goal. Shot knocked away. Kid Miller trying to bust through a double team and send it in the very least. What a stop by Chris Osgood. Peter Laviolette told us before the game how great Ozzy has been in the first 3 games of the series. The fans chant Ozzy, Ozzy. As Toronto is offside.
Well, this is just tremendous playoff goaltending by Chris Osgood. That's how he backstopped the Detroit Red Wings to the 1998 Stanley Cup. This is Mogilny's 9th shot on net, but no way.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coliseum on the island. Uniondale, New York. Hey, Ryan Neal-Smith, our entire NHL Stanley Cup playoff crew. Glad to bring you the sights and sounds of these 2002 Stanley Cup playoffs. And a great game 4 so far. We've seen a bit of everything, including great goaltending as well. Chris Osgood shut it down with Jimmy with sniper moments ago. Going in hard. Makes his own. Lost the handle too high. Webb is crushed. Green got a good piece of it. Travis lost the helmet. And missed it. Handle takes it back. Near wall by McCabe. Long time Islander. Now Peca. Lapointe got hurt on that hit, Dave. He was very slow against the after bench. He doesn't even straighten his helmet up. He got hurt, and it might just be that he got winded on that hip, or he might have really hurt his shoulder. But Claude Lapointe really got hurt the way he went off the ice. Here's Jonsson. First forward check. Gets by Darcy. Jonsson's in speed. Busting all the way in. Great run back to Jonsson. Captain for a while here in the island. That's around the board for base. Hunter looks as he's trying to create something. Hunter. The NHL game comes to that. That's the early pace on the captain. Mike Peca was tripped up. Fans want to call him, won't get it. Haley trying to generate some speed through center ice. Final 60 seconds of the second period. Flowing in the wing. He'll bang it off the boards. Send for Cavalette with a good burst of speed. Has him in it. Cross-ice play. And it's in the net. Cavalette scores! Chris Osgood thought pass. Didn't think shot. And it's by him.
Well, this is another goal for the Maple Leafs in the last minute of a period. They got their first goal in the last minute of the period, sending them into the locker room with a spirited group. Now they're going to do it again this period. Watch Cavalette. Chris Osgood cheats for the pass, and he puts it high up on the shelf.
where Chris Osgood never expected it. Watch this. From behind the net shot. It goes right in. Chris Osgood's coming off the post. You can't leave the post until you're sure the guy's making the pass. Chris Osgood would like to have that one back.
He was shocked. Cavalier was able to beat him from such a sharp angle. The defenseman gets his second of the playoffs. The other an empty net tally up at the Canada Center. Great goal. Newfoundland has to get back right into the Islanders. Czerkawski again. Yashin regains. It's out of the line. Parrish has to go all the way through the near wall. That will go for 40 minutes from the island. Cavalier's late goal makes it 2-1 Maple Leafs. Check into the Coors Light storyline. Yashin finally gets a playoff goal, his first since '98 when he was an Ottawa Senator. And Sundin left the game with a hand injury. He leads his team with 3 points coming in. Well, Alexei Yashin went 15 games without a goal. Let's take a look at the last one that he scored on our Coors Light storyline replay. There's the first one that he gets since 1998. And there's his mother, Mrs. Yashin, and sitting beside Carol Alt, the girlfriend of Alexei Yashin. Let's go back to the studio now. John Saunders, Barry, Melvin.
Well, we saw what can happen in third periods when we watched the game last night between Montreal and Boston. You were making the call there, Dave. That was exciting. Boston having a 3-1 lead at the Molson Center, and Montreal fighting back. Within the third period, they win 5-3.
All the way back indeed. Parrish in the center try. Somehow went wide. Cujo off the goal stick in the process. He'll get it back from Shane Corson. Czerkawski tips it up good on the Isles here in the third.
Well, one thing you know, Dave, this crowd's not going to allow. They're completely into it. They want to see more home games at the Nassau Coliseum. And if the Islanders lose here tonight, the Leafs could wrap this up back at the Air Canada Center. There's our latest scoring chance man, Mark Parrish, right there. Just missing. Cujo getting the leg out, but Mark Parrish taking his twig with him into the corner. Shane Corson promptly returned it to the netminder. But Mark Parrish has really become quite a goal scorer. As we look at the scoring chances, pretty well even. Mark Parrish traded to the Islanders from the Florida Panthers and has become one of the league's elite goal scorers.
Alongside Parrish, there's 30 goals a season. 2 stars here on the island. Jersey 2 years ago. It's in for Peca. Eli tracks it down. Cairns will reload. 8 to the blue line for Big Al Cairns. Settled for center base and speed. Can he get ahead of the pack? Eli got there first. Out of boards. Peca cannot hold it in. Hamilton goes up. Take to the Maple Leaf goal. Keeps it alive. And knocked the side down low. Cujo may have got a piece of that one. Scatchard with a good opportunity. Jonsson, the defenseman, pitching it, trying to get loose. That play made by Domi. Now it's Mogilny picks up. Plays it for Jonsson. Back to Dallas by Miller. Czerkawski in hot pursuit. Glove down. Quick Miller has play. Here's for Scatchard. Did not mistake a beeline to the end boards. Another nice play point. Scatchard and Miller. Set up Jonsson for a one-time in the near circle. And he keeps it alive for point. Will throw it to the net. The flip to the right. Scatchard in the low slot looking to be Cujo.
OTT storyline replay. The 2 goals both came in the last minute of each period. There's the one that Kenny Jonsson knocked into his own net in the first period. The second period, Caberlet finds a cheating Chris Osgood coming off his post like a bad soldier, and he puts it in the short side.
Dreadful goal to give up if you're Chris Osgood in the aisle so late in the period. Really tough emotionally to come back from that.
And the thing is that all you got to do is stay on that post, and then you force him into the pass, and then it's up to your defenseman to take that man in front of the net. So Chris, you have to go down and back, I'm sure.
Sends it down low for Bates. He's got Hunter in front to rookie. Belak at their front. Mogilny banks it off the wall. Big question in game 5. Friday in Toronto, whether or not that's Sundin, the captain, will be back. Right up! Game for you here on ESPN 2's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that's going to be a great game in Toronto. I mean, this crowd is loud, but the crowd of the ACC will really get into it, especially if the Leafs hold this lead and go into that game up 3-1. Bates not through, that catches up. Shot backhand, a piece of it. Catching one of the Cujo, sends it wide. Now Gilly, straight feed. Bates, quick shot. Left it wide up, and catching down Osgood. Catch it the other way, spins and fire. Some speed McCabe. And off to the blue line. Pinball action back and forth. There's a lot eventually sent into the aisle to pitch it in. Here's the point. Czerkawski, not a lot of minutes in this game, but gets a shift here in the third. Ian Buck hand to hand. Tommy ahead of the pack, but can't quite find it. And the wrong puck comes to Jonsson. Jonsson reloads behind his own cage. Yashin drops it through, and Parrish was onside, but he couldn't quite find the handle bouncing puck. Peca gets there, icing at the car. We go back to John Saunders.
Two goalies that have been making great saves tonight. Of course, John Saunders would know all about great saves because when he played defense, the goalie had to make an unbelievable save. I know, I was his defense partner at Western Michigan University.
Not getting help in Kalamazoo. Yes. I thought over years later, it kind of eliminated all those guys. He's a great defenseman, right? Parrish has got it. After the wide, Camacho holds it in. Parrish dancing for Yashin, top. The ice here for the Islanders. 8 to create. Third period, Camacho shot. Bobby Flume, here comes back down by Reichel. Here's Osgood. Nugget for Robert Reichel. They'll send it into the Islander net.
Well, Curtis Joseph has been the backbone of this hockey club ever since he got here as a free agent 3 years ago. But in game 3, he allowed 6 goals. Look at that save percentage. Of course, the rest of the series, he's back with his Cujo numbers. He broke his hand earlier in the season, leaning back on the net. And somebody for the Islanders has to step up and step up quickly. It should be, of course, the guy that makes all the money, Alexei Yashin. But this guy right here, Adrian Aucoin, has been such a tremendous pickup by Mike Milbury's Islanders. This is one guy who's been a well-traveled veteran, but he has played his best hockey of his career as a New York Islander.
Career-type season, 81 games this year, Aucoin, a career best, +23. Green takes down his man in the circle of Peca. No call despite the uproar for the fans. Yashin battling the cage, shot double play, looking for the short side, and it's covered up by Curtis Joseph.
Well, Alexei Yashin getting a lot more involved in scoring opportunities than he did here. He takes it right off the boards. Look at that. McCabe is a strong man, and one-handed, Alexei Yashin tries to put it out
in front of the net. Watches again. He gets away, but this is one hand on the stick, folks, right there. And that is being a tough competitor. And Alexei Yashin looks a lot better to me tonight than he did. There's his numbers, his ice time, his shifts. He's a lot better in this game than in any of the Ottawa 4 games last year. I can tell you because I was there to witness all of it.
Peca and Corson take the big draw. Hunter in front, the rookie, looking for Bates. And it's sent out to the neutral zone for Jonsson. Lots of ice time again for Jonsson, Aucoin, and Hemmerling here in game 4. Plays back for Yashin. FNB Bates. Tipped ahead with Captain Peca. Inside the circle. Hunter shot. Have a shot. Pass down Vancouver. It's clear side by Reichel. Over the glass. Out of play. 9:42 left. Third period. Exciting game 4. Curtis Joseph trying to shove it over on the aisle here tonight.
Chris not handling those long shots. You see his playoff record at home. And the last 16 games are he's been 13-3. Pretty good.
Once the home game, of course, in Detroit. So this one, that series, what they did to the Islanders team last night of game 3. Bates takes it away on the far half boards. Now there to keep it alive. Offensive zone. Jonsson can't find a handle. He's got to reload. Out to the eyes. 21-20. At this point, third period. Hamlet sends it in. Cairns falls up. And play is stopped.
Well, a Hall of Famer runs the Toronto Maple Leafs, but he didn't play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He won 6 Stanley Cups in goal for the Montreal Canadiens in 8 seasons that he did play there. And, of course, we are talking about the infamous Ken Dryden. There he is watching from high above the Nassau Coliseum. Ken Dryden, the man on the left with his hands together, played at Cornell University. And there is Emily Hughes skating between periods. Now, what's the connection between Emily Hughes, the sister of gold medal winning Sarah Hughes? That's her dad, John Hughes, who was the captain of the Cornell team when Ken Dryden played goal there. So it's a family affair going on here tonight at the Nassau Coliseum.
Great story. All coming together. Mariusz ahead, looking for Yashin. And look at the point, trying to keep it in. See the defenseman will have to take a chance or two. Yashin lost the hand, it was outside the left circle. Goes around the boards. Mariusz tipped up. 2 players went down to Austin Roberts. The penalty is coming up. And a power play here with 7:51 to go.
This penalty is on Pilash. They're going to call it tripping, but I really think that he held on to Kavach's stick until Kavachi just took his own legs out from under him. We'll see it on the replay. But in the meantime, this Islander crowd has gone berserk. 7:51 to go. They know this might be the last chance for the Islanders. Let's take a look at how they got this chance. Well, I don't know if it was him trying to tug his stick away or he took a leg out from under him. But Gary Roberts steamrolled him after he went down. The stick is between the legs. Yes, that is. That's a good call. That's a tripping call. That was not holding the stick. That's a good call by Dan Merwelli.
And the crowd responds. Huge power play for both sides. Hamlet calls it in. He's got Jonsson with him. He'll spin around. Not too much to go through. Bates couldn't find the handle. He's got it back. Plenty of room to work with. Short-handed. He and Buck will take their time. And bouncing. In the offensive zone for the Leafs.
The Leaf penalty killing has to stop this one. This is the whole series right here, folks.
Bates across the line. Yashin carries in left circle. Looks for Parrish. Back for Shawn Bates. Now Jonsson. Fans want a shot. Bates and Jonsson. Can Jonsson shot? Good shot to bring up pass. And cleared by the Leafs. And 2 power slided their way back into this series. Smith, you call it. Here's power play. Miller converts. Third goal, first of the series. We're tied. Critical game.
This was the playoff score by number 11, Hip Miller.
And Mogilny changes the rules.
Jonsson as number 11, Miller.
Jonsson tripped up, man. Left penalty. Get another one now. Also went down. Nice call by the officials. Quick pass, goal. Beats some room. Feeds on the sides. Get in for Hunter. Back to right. Cross ice play. Peca loose for a second. They couldn't quite find him. The puck is covered up by the defense. And the fans want a penalty for the land game. They won't get it. We are all tied after the huge power play goal. Another sellout crowd, 16,000 plus here. And you can see how low the roof is to the ice at the Nassau Coliseum. The coach of the Islanders, Peter Laviolette, told us prior to the game, that's why it's so loud in here. There's really nowhere for the noise to go, but right back down to the ice. He said it was last night. He couldn't even hear his players. He had to tap them on the back for line changes. Well, if anything would blow the roof off the building, it's the noise right now. You saw the numbers. Critical at this point is huge getting forward. Parrish can't hold it in. And in the battle with Corson. Third gets into the offensive zone. Osgood leads for Van Impe. And just got a line. I'm telling you, there was never like this in 94 when we played them in the 4-game sweep. And maybe that's why it wasn't, because they were always behind and not really close in the series. But in all honesty, it was never close to this level of noise back in 94. Canada gets the goal from Mariusz, Czerkawski, and Kenny Jonsson. High things up third period. Hamilton across the line for Parrish. Sweetheart, and there's Mrs. Yashin standing up with the black leather jacket on, hugging. And Roman Hamlet, his first career playoff goal. Took him a long time, and of course he's been in Tampa Bay for many years. This crowd is going berserk. I'm sure that the puck game went right off the post. It was a blast by Hamlet. Yashin, of course, getting the assist on that, so we can no longer keep talking about how he's scoring pointless. But yeah, Hamlet's shot. Jurgen Lumi hesitated. If he had gone to Hamlet might not have had the time to put the power behind the shot. He hesitated and stuttered, and Hamlet put everything he had behind that shot.
From 79, Yashin. Out of the goal, 14-56.
Here it is again. See how far away Lumi is? He just lets him wind up and shoot. And he catches iron, and it deflects into the net. Yashin, the lone helper, give Alexei Yashin now in the series. A goal, 4 assists, and 5 points. The leading scorer, Curtis Joseph, lets in the long goal. Neil, you're a native of the Toronto area. You know the heat he's going to face when they go back home because of that goal if they don't win this game. Well, he will face some heat, but Cujo's loved in Toronto, and he's also, let's face it, he's been their franchise, so they'll be pretty easy on him because without him, they wouldn't even be here. Good point. That's what Packman said before this game. Same with Connor time again. That time a long goal just inside the blue line, and the fans are letting him have it. The Cujo chant. Peter wants some energy and physical play following the 2 goals.
brand new best 2 out of 3 series 2 nights from now in Toronto. One rest of the way. Right down the home ice advantage if they can hang on now. And play is whistled down behind the goal. Back we go to Jonsson. What a game there, and a comeback from Carolina. They looked like they were dead in the water after some trouble in Jersey over 2 games. Curtis Joseph now, over the past 2 tilts, trouble. That is very much unlike Curtis Joseph. I watched him for a long time. He's had a stellar career in St. Louis. He was everything for the Edmonton Oilers, and when he left Edmonton and came to Toronto as a free agent, he has been everything for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but there is still no Sundin on this team, and without Matt Sundin, Pat Quinn and his Leafs are in serious trouble. You need those 2 guys. That's your franchise. Matt Sundin up front, Curtis Joseph in the net. Nearly gets it off from McCabe. There the return pass. Scatchard, great goal on him. Corson scores! Johnny Corson has tied this game at 3. Huge goal for the Maple Leafs. You talked about a player being the GOAT with the media, the Curtis Joseph situation. Unfortunately for Chris Osgood, with these last 2 goals, if the Islanders don't win this game, he is going to be the one to face all the media heat, as he doesn't even know where the puck is here. He looks the wrong way, thinking the puck's coming back, and whoops, it's already in. Chris, it's already in the net, Chris. Right here, he thinks that Healy still have it, but no, Corson has it, and it's already in the net. Now, Hammerlich should have also eliminated Corson on that, let's not forget. But Chris Osgood completely lost the puck. So now 2 straight goals by the Leafs have been critical mistakes by Osgood. He's going on the short side, and now this left around by Corson. You heard John Connor talk the same time around. You might have it here in the Island too now. With a huge equalizer scored by Corson. Now it's Laviolette speak. Parrish. This for Quebec. He's had a great game tonight. Trickles wide.
This is number 26 ball. Here's a great series. Number 27 Corson. 26 William. 18 McCabe. Time of 16:34.
Mogilny some speed. Got Tucker with him. Mogilny a shot. Fantastic. Barely enough to get made by Osgood. Just went wide of the post. Outside for penalty blast. Good traffic. Cleared by Yashin. To Bates at speed. Shawn Bates is in. This season. This doesn't bother Curtis Joseph. He's ready. Only your buddy George Hainsworth had more. He had 6. Let's take a look at the replay of this one. Boy, this is exciting. A crowd that's going nuts. And a penalty shot. McCabe takes the legs out from under Bates. This is why referee Walker called a penalty shot. And so we'll look to see the pressure build here at the Nassau Coliseum. And most of it now centers on Shawn Bates, who had his first career playoff goal in this series. He got some advice from the captain, Mike Peca. Here he comes. Penalty shot for Bates.
There's really nothing more we can say that accentuates what's going on in this building. Shawn Bates on a penalty shot gets his second goal of the playoffs. Here it is, folks. This is not a breakaway. It's a penalty shot. He rips it over Cujo's right shoulder. Up where Mama hides the cookies. Right out there. And it's a 4-3 Islander lead with only 2.5 to go. There you see the goalie Cam. And there's the ex-captain of the Islanders who tricked Bates to cause the penalty shot. Unbelievable. A moment in the new era of Islander history. Must have been good advice from McCabe, who immediately took Bates aside. Remember, Shawn Bates was in the minors most of his career in Boston. That's how Peter Laviolette knew him. He won a Calder Cup for the Providence Bruins, the Baby Bees they call in the American League, with Peter Laviolette. And now he's a star in the National League. Folks, this has just been an unbelievable game. This penalty shot, he just rips it. Let's take a look at the man who brought Shawn Bates here from Boston, Mike Milbury, the old coach of the Boston Bruins. He coached the Boston Bruins the last time they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1990. And then he brings Shawn Bates in from his old organization to beat that man right there. It doesn't get any better than this. I'll tell you, hockey doesn't get any better than what we're seeing here. Listen to the crowd. Feel the energy. Incredible playoff action tonight. Still 2 minutes plus on the board. Plenty of time for Chris Osgood to make another mistake. Here's Caroline. Only got 90 seconds in regulation. Green, McCabe. In he goes. Jonsson. After contact, Lapointe. We've got a whistle for a face-off. A minute 23 left, third period. Cujo is still in the Maple Leaf net. It's going to be interesting. Where is this face-off going to take place? Darcy Tucker was down on his hands and knees trying to get up from the puck, and Claude Lapointe kept pushing him back down onto the puck. And let's see where they put this face-off. I think it's outside because Darcy Tucker's yapping at the referee. Let's find out where the linesman goes to square up the centerman on this one. No, maybe it's going to be over to the... It is going to be in the Islander zone. It's critical with 1:23 left to go in the game. A face-off is a face-off, as Pat Quinn calls his timeout. But this is going to be a critical face-off coming up here. Incredible game tonight on the island. Right now, Shawn Bates is the hero. Pat Quinn, minus his captain, Matt Sundin. No report yet officially on his status for Game 5 Friday. We'll have it for you here on ESPN 2. And we look down on the Leaf bench. There's plenty of experience on the Leaf bench. Plenty of experience on the Leaf ice. Pat Quinn lost the 1980 Stanley Cup right in this building with his Philadelphia Flyers, don't forget. As Cujo heads to the bench. Would they ever use Matt Sundin now? There goes Cujo, the extra attacker on the ice. An empty net for the Maple Leafs. The captain, Peca, the ex-Islander Green, a huge face-off. Bouncing puck. Caroline, big for the goal. Pass Domi. Not good. Not clear as all. Mogilny advancing for Thomas Everton. That's the play. Caroline keeps alive. There's a penalty coming up against the Islanders. A slashing call. Can you believe this? If they keep Cujo out of the net, they'll have a two-man advantage. With a minute 6 to go, Jonsson is in the box. And this is called by the senior official, Dan Mariusz. And
Jonsson goes over the box, so they're not stopping. Nobody can accuse these guys of putting a whistle in the third period of a playoff game because they're continuing to call penalty shots, penalties, anything you want. You've got it all here. Let's take a look at where this penalty was. There's a slash point. Folks, you're not going to often see that call in the third period of a 4-3 game in the playoffs, but the pressure now will be squarely on Chris Osgood. If he can hold them to this minute 6, nobody will ever remember the 2 goals that he will take criticism for.
Empty net on the other end here, Neil. What incredible drama.
One minute remaining in the third period. 1 minute.
Peca trying to track it down. Mogilny can't get there. 2 minutes back to the ice. Mogilny protected. Let's see some time on the right hand trying to set off the back. It goes. It's a power play, and they pull through John 2-man advantage. 6 on 4. Clear again. Michael Peca's not worried about getting it into that goal here. He's just worried about doing his job and getting it the heck out of the zone. Michael walks it right back in. 30 seconds to go. Osgood's coming with a handle. Hit him. Here's Green. At the point. That's Green some time. Right there. Close. 10 seconds. Green. Time well off. Thompson comes through. 5 seconds left. McCabe trying to throw it on net. 12 seconds. Corson went right in after Claude Lapointe as the horn sounded and things got rough. This is very dangerous right now for the Islanders because Chris Osgood just got up and got involved in this thing, and you see Dan Mariusz pulling Osgood out of there, telling him to get the heck off the ice. He's won the game. Nobody's going to remember the 2 bad goals. Chris, get into the dressing and get ready to go to Toronto. Don't screw this up. Peter Laviolette has got a happy look on his face. They're all wondering, is it really over? It's a brand new series. Let's take a look at that last scoring chance that the Leafs had when they were throwing everything out. Chris Osgood for the kitchen sink. See there, they try to center it on the front. Taking a look at it from the inside the net. Adrian Aucoin is pushed in there with the camera. And the net comes off. The Islanders are congratulating each other. Let's take a look at the big play for the Danes and goal. Shawn Bates. There's the penalty. A trip on McCabe. It comes from a penalty shot. And Shawn Bates takes advantage of that penalty shot. He's not in Providence anymore. He's with the New York Islanders. And they're tied in this first round 2-2 with the Toronto Maple Leafs as they win both their games at the Nassau Coliseum. Guaranteeing the Islanders get back here one more time, and it was in dramatic fashion. You heard Neil Smith say it. This building has not been this loud in 8 years. So our final score tonight, an incredible game. 4-3, Islanders take it. Coming up next, San Jose Phoenix, followed by the NHL tonight here on ESPN 2. This has been a presentation of ESPN Worldwide Daily Report. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Smith and Dave Ryan saying so long from Nassau Coliseum.